Okay, I guess I'm back for two today. So maybe this is tape B. Earlier was tape A. Now this is tape B of SummerSlam. Detroit, Michigan, Ford Field, over 50,000 something people out there. Hasn't been a big event there since WrestleMania 23. But SummerSlam, folks, this is part two of the review, or part two, however you want to take it. But obviously, this person really wanted, I mean, really wanted to talk about SummerSlam and how the show went, because obviously it is a lot of different opinions about SummerSlam. So, hey, I may be repeating myself and saying the same things from earlier, but it could be a different conversation. But, you never know what anyone's going to say on here. So, everybody's got a different opinion. But first, let Ecos introduce himself for this Tape B review.
Yep. This your boy Straight Face 40. Man, I had to come through for SummerSlam. I had to come through. Man, I know you did one, but I had to make you do another one, Bryce. I had to, man.
Yeah, I understand you really want to talk about this show because, yeah, me and Shaggy, we had a lot to say about this. So obviously, a lot of our opinions are gonna differentiate and whatnot. I may be saying the same thing what I said earlier, but obviously, you may have a lot of different opinions than to what we saw earlier. Well, yesterday technically, but to what we saw on SummerSlam. But let's get smack dab right into it. Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary. We do kick it off with the first match of Logan Paul versus Ricochet. And my opinions on this match was this. So once again, probably gonna repeat myself, but I didn't think it was a bad match. I thought it was pretty good. I understand why this match was first because Logan Paul had to get to his brother's fight. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. That was, later on into the night. So basically, Logan Paul was here and he was basically gone off after that, headed to Vegas. The match with Ricochet, I didn't think it was bad, even though I feel like the build up to all of this basically started from what Money in the Bank over a botch that happened, and they kind of tried the last second to bring Ricochet's girlfriend in here, Samantha Irvin, because I'm be honest, I don't think the promos are really that good, especially from Ricochet. Logan Paul, it's a hit or miss on the mic, but he fits that douchebag role mentality when he's on the microphone. And Logan Paul ended up winning here by help, I guess, from one of his entourage with brass knuckles to win the match. I'm not surprised Logan Paul won. I think he needed the win because he hasn't had a win since last year SummerSlam when he faced The Miz. But I do question why are we protecting Ricochet of all people? That's what I don't understand. I'm even had to sit there like, could Logan Paul not beat Ricochet clean and go on from there? But then, some would say, well, we don't want to embarrass him in front of his girlfriend and whatnot, which they literally brought in the last second of the Go Home show to even, mention her and say something about that. Because let's be honest, Ricochet has not really done nothing important for a very long time now. I did like the team with him and Braun Strowman. I think that was pretty good. But tell me, when is the last time you had a very big Ricochet match on a big name level pay per view and whatnot? I think Logan Paul should have just won clean here and call it a day. I saw no reason to really protect Ricochet.
Well, this was my least favorite match of the night, next to the MMA match.
Oh.
So we can get to that, but this was one of my least favorite matches because here's the thing, like you said, it wasn't because it was a bad match. It was because it was like I just didn't. I first of all, I just didn't see why we needed this match anyway. I just didn't see it. I just really didn't. Everybody could say Logan Paul is a draw. I really personally don't think he bring it in more fan base than what we already started off with. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really don't think. I never really saw the appeal to him. It's just I do agree with you. He does fit that douchebag mentality, that douchebag type of character. I understand that, but at the same time, I just really not digging Logan Paul. Just not. And when it comes to Ricochet, like you just said, I agree with every point that you guys just said. You know, but I do have a counterpoint. You know how I would like to play devil advocate over here. I do like what you said, and I do agree, but I do have a counterpoint. And because you said he does, Logan Paul does fit that douchebag, role. Why does he win like a douchebag? You know
So
what I'm saying? I
yes.
said, right, you feel me, right? Yeah, I do agree with you with the protected ricochet part, but I don't see it as a protected ricochet. It's more as it fitting Logan Paul character. Logan
Uh
Paul is a douchebag. He a grimy dude. He a grimy nigga. He gonna figure out grimy ways to win matches. That's why I think most of his wins are gonna come by is a dude who go sneak his way into winning matches, um, find any loophole corners, guys go help with entourage. He got a whole bunch of guys. You could bring them along. Man, nigga, you could actually have the mean street posse looking niggas coming in. Yeah, I'm telling you, it fit the character, it fit the douchebag. They not tough guys. Do you look at him and say, "Ha ha, that's a tough guy right there"? No, you don't.
Even in all them boxing matches.
Even with the boxing match, he just don't come across to me as a tough guy. Just don't. That's why I just like feel like that win fit his personality. Douchebag, just come out not clean. I
Because
just, I, I just felt like it fit his personality,
because
fit
I
his character.
and I can understand that. I think because I felt like, did you really need to cheat to beat Ricochet of all people? That's what
Yeah,
got me about it, because it's like
his,
Ricochet is like an undercard face right now.
and he's not a experienced. So you gotta think about it like this too. He not an experienced guy. It ain't like he just an experienced guy who been wrestling for 10, 20 years like Ricochet have. You know what I'm saying?
And I think
So
Ricochet picked him. Well, not Ricochet, but Logan Paul picked
that's
him
like
because I think he likes working with him, because they
that's
can
like
kind of pull off them moves.
that's like that's like somebody out. That's like a celebrity coming in into going against LeBron. Then well, not LeBron. Let's just say a regular player like how Ricochet is, just a regular wrestler. He ain't no superstar wrestler. So let's just pick a regular basketball player, and then we picked a celebrity guy who been playing basketball, but he ain't playing in no professional level. Well, how you think they're gonna look? You know what I'm saying? Unless this celebrity got some skills that he can beat the guy, I don't think you should let the celebrity beat the professional wrestler clean. I just don't see it.
And I can understand your point. Also, because you don't want to make the wrestler look bad. And I guess since they, given Ricochet really something in a long time, I guess, all right, we'll try to somewhat give him an out. I like my opinion. I felt like he didn't really need an out. And I kind of what I said before. You talk about the meaning of this match. Like, did this match really need to be on this card in general? Especially looking at the buildup of it. Like I said, this was all on account of a botch that happened in Money in the Bank. And yeah, I think Logan Paul
I
probably
want
picked
your
Ricochet.
opinion on something.
Huh?
I
Go
want your
ahead.
opinion. My bad. I just want your opinion on something. Like what I just said about Logan Paul. Remember what I was saying? Although, do you think my feeling is valid for towards Logan Paul? Don't feel like he bring eyes to the product. I don't feel like he does nothing for the product. Do you think my feeling is valid, or do you think he does do something for the product?
Um, I don't know if he's bringing in a lot of people like that. I know he's big on YouTube and all that, but are a lot of his fans really gonna come over here to watch the WWE and watch him, wrestle and whatnot. I don't get me wrong. I think he's good in the ring, but is he really, investing and drawing people to come watch though? I do kind of wonder that. Cause like, yeah, I get it. He's big on YouTube. People do know who he is, but is it really moving up the ratings, or is he like must see TV? I think he's a pretty good heel. That's where they needed him to be, was a heel and a face. But I do kind of wonder, you know, how much investment are they really going to put into him, and if he's worth it to, bring in more people. So I do kind of wonder that. I like I said, I never said he was never bad in the ring. That like I say, he's
Right,
good.
right. And see that
But
you
we're talking
right,
about if he's drawing people though, if he's like
there we
bringing
go. Right,
eyeballs
right,
to the
right. You
product.
right. We both agree. We always agree. Even off the podcast and all the podcasts, we both said that we do like, we do like Logan Paul when it comes down to in ring ability and stuff. And to be honest with you, this cast of celebrities that been coming along, it ain't nothing against their in ring ability, because I think their in ring ability is a step further than the ones who came in the past, the celebrities that came in the past. But at the same time, though, I just don't see the appeal to Logan. I just don't. It's just like I don't see what WWE is really going after with his fan base. They keep on with this. I know you heard this a couple of times throughout the match. But excuse me, y'all. I just felt sorry about that. But yeah, I know you heard a couple of times when they kept on mentioning his followers and stuff like that. Man, like, come on, man. Like, who cares about his followers? So, like, he got, what was it, Bryce? Am I right? 2.5 million.
Yeah, I
Did they
believe
say
so.
it? And then they said it. And I'm like, come on now. Like, what? How many of those are going to? How many of those 2.5 million fans that he got, or followers that he got, are you going to flip into WWE fans?
That's
Like,
true.
that should be for real. How many of those you gonna flip into wrestling fans?
And let me kind of point this out too. You talk about trying to flip people to go, watch WWE of what they're doing. Because one thing kind of add on to this, because when he was done with that match, like I said before, he was there for his brother's fight. Because like immediately when I turned off SummerSlam, that's when that main event was about to happen. He was still in his wrestling gear when he was at the event. So like
Oh,
the minute I saw Jake Paul come out and Little Dirk was there and Logan, he came out with his gear still on. And even they kind of said like, yeah, Logan Paul won earlier tonight too, and kind of at least acknowledged the match. I don't think, they were really putting over, boxing Showtime. I don't think they really mentioned WWE, but they kind of said
right.
like, yeah, Logan won his thing earlier tonight. So the guy was still in his gear when he got to the whole boxing match later on the night. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that flipped people to go watch it. I don't know if it was a way like,
I
hey, go check out
mean,
my brother.
ain't nobody. Ain't look, man. Look, I'm telling you, man. I think we, not to say anything about wrestling, because I love wrestling. You love wrestling too, and I know you do. And but we just gotta face the music, though, man. It's gonna be hard to get fans to come back. It's like the fans that you had back in the day. Like, let's just be honest, the fans that you had back in the day, it wasn't because of the in-ring ability. Like, let's go back to the Attitude Era when it was super hot. What do you think it was keeping them around? Crash TV.
Yeah,
Like, and
for
so
so.
we don't have Crash TV nowadays, So they gonna really bring back the lap fans. Like, I think that's what I think we're all wrestling, and that's other company too. They all try to get back to the glory days of
Drawing
having a lot of people watching wrestling, going back to the 10 millions, 11 million people watching wrestling. That's not gonna happen, man. Just not.
it's
I
I guess
think
especially
WWE,
with drawing people. Don't get me wrong, WWE is making a big profit out here nowadays. Don't get me wrong, But I do kind of wonder how many more fans have they really drawn in to watch the show, because I will say
Right.
WWE has been pretty successful right now.
Yeah, I mean that's successful wise with the money wise, but I don't with the viewership. Yeah, if you talk about compared to other wrestling companies or something like that, yeah, but that's not. They don't consider that successful. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
they already had the taste of real success. They just looking at this like, man, all right, we at least we beat the other companies. So you know what I'm saying? That we
Yeah.
still on top when it comes down to the name wrestling. The first name they come up with is the WWE. Nobody thinking about no AEW or anything else. It's the first thing when somebody say wrestling is the WWE. And like, so
That
they are still the biggest dog in the yard. But yeah, we split this off to another thing because it's just the Logan Paul situation. It just baffled me. It's always baffled me, even with the signing and all that. It's just always baffled me, bro. So I just never said that about it because I just felt like everybody else probably think differently from how I'm looking at it. So I just didn't really want to say that about it, like man, But at the same time, it has to be. I have to say it now because this is the real reason why I wasn't. I was in and out of the match. I was just I would look it up, looking at my phone, look it up. They do a little hot spot. All right, whatever. But it's like I really wasn't feeling the match. I really wasn't.
Yeah, and honestly, I already kind of figured Logan Paul was gonna win anyways. I already
Yeah,
said he needed a win back, so I wasn't really surprised. Surprised who won right here. And like I said, it was the match damn near went what 20 minutes almost out there, if I'm
yeah.
not mistaken.
Both of them got good cardio. I get with that. True. Ricochet is the cardio kid.
But
So
yeah,
I
like it is
so
what it is what it is. So yeah, Logan won. That's pretty much it from there. But next we go into Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. I was actually surprised this was the second match of the night. And obviously we have a huge different opinion on this because from what I said earlier, listen, I think this went at an old school pace. I think the match was good. Obviously, it was to build a lot of sympathy and Cody showing heart out there, to fight Brock Lesnar to get the win because for damn near almost like 12 minutes, we saw Brock throw this guy around literally everywhere like a sack of potatoes on roller skates, F5ing him through the table, onto the floor, suplex, 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 going for the Kimura lock and whatnot until, Cody, he fights back. He starts fighting back and showing heart, getting them with the cutter and whatnot, um, knocking him into the exposed turnbuckle, and then hitting 3 crossroads on him to get the win. But then right after that, which I don't think we've ever really seen this much with Brock, maybe a nod, but the fact that he, went to Cody, shook his hand, and held his arm up in the air, basically, showing how, he showed respect to him and whatnot. And take over for a second because I have to get the door.
all right. But yeah, we saw endorse Cody Rhodes, and this is the first time we ever seen Brock Lesnar endorse anybody. And this is hard too. It kind of got me in the stomach, man. It got me in the feels because I'm like, man, it looked like a storybook ending. But the story not done. Cody Rhodes' story not done until he get the world championship. But but that leads us to the question: who is next for Cody Rhodes? And that is the all time question right now. Who is next for Cody Rhodes? And Cody Rhodes going for the world championship? And Cody Rhodes is going to a next big feud? Nothing can be bigger than what this feud is right now, unless he go to SmackDown. They're gonna have to make that happen because it's got to be some type of loophole. Tomorrow night gonna have to be a lot of questions. Payback is around the corner. Payback is September 2nd. So they got a nice little minute from here to September 2nd for their pay per view. But here's the thing: Cody Rhodes like I just said, Cody Rhodes' story is not done. But
Yeah.
this felt like a great story book ending to a feud that we was like, God damn. And they hit each other with everything in the book in every match. 1, 2, and 3. And now that you could samp that, Cody Rhodes won that feud. He could go on, but who is big enough to even share the ring with Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw?
Okay. Now let me come back into this. And I get your point. Listen, Cody's obviously one of the most, literally, probably the most over person on Monday Night Raw right now. And, I was kind of surprised. 'Cause like I said, you don't see Brock do this with a lot of people, especially show that much respect and everything. Because, we see him was talking earlier, and he was like, so Cody Rhodes can beat Brock Lesnar, but Bobby Lashley barely could do it and struggled to beat him, which, we can go into a reason why, and I'm sure a lot of people know that, and several people I know why, but we're not going to that part. But you saw the Bobby feud win and how, well, shit, what was like back at Elimination Chamber, I think the last thing was a DQ finish, but we gave
It
Cody two.
wasn't due. It wasn't due, but it wasn't due to Bobby caused it a disqualification. It was due to Brock caused it a disqualification. Brock kicked the nigga in the nuts.
Nuts, and then just start destroying.
I say if we go, all right. So I will
And
have to disagree on that with both of y'all. Cause here's my disagreement. I would say that's actually showing the man more respect than going toe to toe with you as nigga. I can whoop your ass. I know I can't whoop you, so here a nut shot, bam. You know what I'm saying? Where Brock just straight up just disrespected Cody, Cody had to earn the nigga respect. He didn't just come up with the he didn't just come up to Brock with respect. Brock, he had to earn that respect where Bobby already had it because nobody I'm not gonna hit a nobody down there if I know I could beat a nobody. You must be a somebody. If me, Brock Lesnar, MMA legend, UFC legend, need to resort to a nut shot. I don't know. Like I said, I disagree, but y'all, that's your opinion. But I truly disagree on that. Like, MMA legend resorting to a nut shot, that kind of showing you more respect than anything else.
because we saw how kind of up and down that feud was with Bobby. I feel like this feud we here with Cody is one of the better feuds because in recent Brock feuds we have seen people like Omos or like I said a Bobby and whatnot. We've seen how kind of wonky or one off it was with those and whatnot. Even though okay the Brock one,
But
I mean the Bobby
still,
one went on a minute. The thing with
but you,
Cody, huh?
nah, like with the Bobby feud, it's like you only can give me with the matches. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Cody Rhodes Brock Lesnar feud, I can send Cody Rhodes out there on any given Monday, and it'd be like, man, go out there and get the people fired up for the match at SummerSlam, and he will do it.
Oh yeah,
Can I do the
Cody's a
same
great
thing?
promo cutter.
Right, but can I do the same thing with Bobby?
Yeah, on the mic, nah, because we know
Ooh.
how Bobby is not the greatest on the mic. We do know that. But one thing to kind of add into this whole feud and everything, especially how much time they have taken with this feud for several months now. I think it was kind of one thing, especially when he shook his hand and held it up in the air, because I'm like, wow, he broke this man's arm and beat the living hell out of him in front of his mom, but let's show him
But
respect. And some
respect
people,
you
but
though. I feel
let me
like
kind of finish up. Let me finish. Like, hold on, real
right,
fast. Like the point, like show him respect there. Some would look at this feud like, was this a way for okay, Cody beat Brock, so he's ready for Roman now, right? If he can beat Brock, he can beat Roman.
but
Some
he
would say it
almost
was
had
like toughening
Roman.
Cody up because the biggest, thing that we never really figured out. I know we talked about this before. We never really figured out why Brock ever took attack Cody to begin with.
No, we never did. We never really got an explanation. I think because the only reason why we never got an explanation because everybody kind of dropped it. Like, man, who cares? It's Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. You would have never thought in a billion years that you ever thought that was gonna ever happen. And you know what I'm saying? If I told you back in what when did AEW start? In like
2019.
2019? Back in 2019, hey, Cody Rhodes gonna go back to WWE and he gonna beat Brock Lesnar not only once but twice. You gonna look at me stupid like, boy, get your dumb ass out of here.
But
Boy,
so,
he ain't about to
so
do that.
so funny. Me and Steven talked about earlier because he thought the whole thing, the ending was like very ham and fist, hamming it up, ham and fist and whatnot. He said if this was the same thing in AEW, these people would have booed Cody.
But
Like
we
same
don't look
scenario.
at it. I mean, shit. I don't. But here's the thing. I I don't look at it like that. And then you got to look at it. This is two different fan bases. You can clearly see it two different fan
Oh
bases.
yeah, the AEW fan. That's why I said if this was AEW, it's a different fan base. They would have booed at him. The people love Cody here in the WWE.
Because it sometimes there's not nothing wrong with hand and fist. Sometimes you got to put a whole fist in there to ham it up and to let people know, bam, this a baby face. You know what I'm saying? This our top baby face. You
Oh
know.
yeah, definitely the top face because said earlier while I was gone, where does Cody go on from here? Because let's be honest, this whole feud with Brock, it was a good feud. Don't get me wrong, but this was obviously a distraction to keep Cody Rhodes away from Roman in the title right now. Which you kind of wonder what will his next distraction feud be? Because I don't know if he's actually gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be going for the championship right now for Roman Reigns, and then again are on different shows anyways due to the draft. But you
to
do
get
kind of
you
want.
but like you just said, you need him to go to SmackDown though, for real. I'm not. This is not no joke. This is not. They need to find a way. Give me anything. I don't even care if you give me some bull that Cody want to go work on SmackDown. He thought he need to go on SmackDown because he did all he could do on Raw. Nah, just give me some BS. I don't even care. Just get him on SmackDown. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
Because they've
Just
done
get
what
him
they
over there.
can to keep them separated and Cody distracted away from the title and whatnot right now. Because I can sit here and go on and say I don't care what anybody says. I still think they should have pulled the trigger back at
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania and whatnot. We've all have mostly said that, and that's going to incorporate when we get to the main event later on. But you know, probably should have done with that with Cody a long time ago. Like I still feel that way and whatnot because anybody would probably sit there and say that even I don't have that much to do with it, but even I kind of read it's kind of crazy. One reason they said the Elite ended up re-signing with AEW because they said they didn't really like the booking decision with Cody, and that kind of made them not want to go there. And that's why I said Cody lost to Mania. That's what I read.
Yes, that's total. My goodness,
It was one of the
he
Bucks
is
that
the
said
biggest
it.
star. It's a big. He is a big. He is a way bigger star.
Oh, then all
If
of it, yes.
right now at this point in time that all four of them could combine, they could do the fusion dance and still won't be as over as this man is. And
Oh, they
it's
won't.
like, hey, I'm sorry. They can stop with that. Oh yeah, he didn't win the title at WrestleMania. Yes, that is true. That's true. We all thought he should have won. I still think to this day he should have won. And this is August. I still think he should have won. But at the same time, right now, at this point in time, if you tell me that I didn't win in Mania, but guess what? You gonna be one of the biggest stars that we got not only once but twice.
Yep. They say,
And
just
you
beat
gonna
Brock
be in the
Lesnar
spotlight.
twice. And
And you gonna still be in the spotlight, Cody. I would still take that if my road is still going to go on to win the championship. Ain't no if ands or buts about it. He gonna win the championship soon. Not soon, but he gonna win the championship. That's the end of the story. It's like
I,
I don't doubt that he gonna win, Bryce. What about you?
I think he will win. Honestly, And I said this months ago, even during the Mania review. Obviously, it didn't happen here, but even I would have thought that Cody could have won at SummerSlam and beat Roman for the title. But that idea was gone a long time ago now, so obviously that didn't happen. Like, I personally wouldn't wait another year, for the next Mania. I thought I would have thought SummerSlam, like, Roman can still get his 1,000 days and Cody could win it there. But hey, I was wrong about that. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Man, yeah, I really truly feel like we just pull the straws now. Like a lot of people just try to nitpick with it. Like I know he should have won. Everybody knows he should have won. But at the same time, like right now, at in a what on the road to get it going to the championship, every road been entertaining and still been keeping my interest in
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes because I still want to know if this man gonna win the championship or not. So they've been doing a good job at that. I
Yeah.
really do think so.
Cody's over as ever, so there's really no doubt in that. Like, the guy is still super over right now. Like, literally nothing stopping that. And like I said, the match itself was from more of an old school approach of, like I said, taking time to build up. Brock, killing him out there. Even though I will admit at one point I was kind of like, all right, Brock, just kill him already. Because listen, you don't see Brock Lesnar matches go on that long. Damn near 20
Right.
minutes. You never see them go that long. Brock
No.
matches used to go on for like what, 5, 6, 7 minutes or whatnot. So I'm sure Brock liked working with Cody and he knew what type of business was here and how, it would draw money and whatnot and make it a big deal of a match that it was and whatnot. I know some will disagree with what happened after with the whole respect thing, because like I say, you don't never see Brock do this with anyone. You don't like say, like Cody, you've seen it, but you never seen him do it with any other people. Maybe probably give you a nod or something, but you don't never see him go in, shake hands and do that and, put his arm, giving a stamp of approval, say, hey, this is the guy. This is the guy right here. This is the guy. You don't never really see him do that.
And that means Brock is not going to be around for. I mean, not. I ain't saying he's not going to be around, but he about to take a little break. So you ain't about to
Oh,
see Brock
yeah,
for
because
a
Yeah,
while.
Brock don't stick around. He never sticks around that long after WrestleMania. So the fact that he stuck around this long, going all the way into SummerSlam, um, you know, obviously he was digging this feud and like what was going on and how it would do good business. So I get it, because you don't never see Brock stick that long.
Yeah, they needed to sell out for a field for real. So they needed Brock to stick around for a little bit longer.
So yeah, it was a money match. So like that's our take on Brock versus Cody and whatnot. Obviously, like I say, you already know my opinion even from the review from earlier and whatnot. So you already know how I feel about it, and we got yours now on it. So like I said,
My favorite match of the night.
Cody won right there. But next though, we go into the well, I would say first of advertisement matches throughout the night, especially in promoting commercials, was the SummerSlam Slim Jim Battle Royale and whatnot, which basically several people in here from an LA Knight to an AJ Styles, Riddle, Cross, Waller, Sheamus, many other people.
Both of those people did better. Both-
I'm not going to everybody's name, but
Man,
one thing that doesn't sit right with me about this is AJ Styles, even in a battle royale on SummerSlam. That just don't sit right with me. It just doesn't. Like, it's AJ Styles, and you want to talk about him, like shit. Theory couldn't even get his own entrance, and he's the U.S. champion, but dude's literally mid right now, so it's like, who really kind of cares? But AJ, it just did not feel right with him being in this battle royale and whatnot. It just ain't sit right with me. You know,
well, here's the thing with me. I just looked at it as I was going to take the lesser of the two evils. I really didn't want him. I didn't want to see him just be in a nothing match.
oh,
I
especially
like
against
him.
Cross, because we know how bad that feud is right now, which I really question why it's still going.
But here's the thing, like this is what I gotta say about the battle royal though. I missed most of it. I ain't missed most of it. I wasn't paying attention to most of it. Put it like that. Until the final five. And the final five, they actually had a match in between the battle royal. It's like they had a little mini matches, and so you got to see Sheamus and AJ go at it. You got to see AJ and LA Knight go at it. You got to see LA Knight go at it with Sheamus, that you, even though you saw that match anyway, but you just got to see all these guys go at it. They were going hard for this battle royal. My goodness, those four guys were going so hard. And that's what made me just sit back up and start watching it again, because I'm like, man, I gotta remember who these guys is. These guys, you got one name, phenomenal, AJ Styles. You got another one in Sheamus. You got another one, LA Knight. These, I knew what I was going to get after a while. I'm like, oh man, damn.
Let me ask you a question. Also, what did you think of the return of Omos?
What did I do? What did everybody else think of the crowd? They didn't make a sound.
Oh,
That's exactly how I felt too. That's exactly how I felt too.
still
Um,
got
I,
MVP with him.
man, bless MVP, bless him, bless him. They doing my boy wrong, but bless him, man.
And I don't think they want to put him back with Lashley because Lashley's got his own thing going on with the profits, and we saw how over and people were happy to see Lashley on SmackDown on Friday.
It's
Um,
not, but everybody, it would be bad if MVP is their manager instead of Omar's manager. And here's the thing, like I like all three of those guys individually. I love the Street Profit. I love Bobby Lashley. But if we got an overall on my skills combined, they overall probably 70. Because here's the thing, Bobby don't have it. Street Profit, they can get hyped for a little while, like, but to cut a promo to promote a match, to promote their, the Sable, you need a mouthpiece, man. I think you need MVP.
but they're trying to get Mello and Trick in there.
Mellow and Trick, well, here's the thing, like, I still think Mello needs to brush it up down there in NXT for the main event scene. And Trick definitely needs to brush it up before we call him up. So no, let's not do that to those boys. They still need to brush it up. They need some work to do.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Trick can talk, but like, should we be moving these guys up right now?
No,
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Even the people we've already moved up from NXT, I'm like, wow, I didn't. I'm like, yeah, McDonough, yeah, I haven't really seen him, and we just saw him in this battle royale.
we saw he came and go. He came and went.
He came and went. He came and went.
For real. That was just I saw him, and by the time I saw him, he was already about to get eliminated.
Yeah, he got thrown out by Omar. So there you go. And it's not like I said, other than the final four, like everything else, like with them trying to do like a Miz Waller clone thing, and then the last two people was LA Knight and Sheamus. I'm not really surprised LA Knight won here. I had a feeling he was gonna win. Some people would feel like he wouldn't because usually when you get over on your own, they don't really like that. But I guess they finally wanna, do something with LA Knight and finally give him a win. But there's one thing that kind of made it already tell you he was going to win in a way, especially right after the match when they play a Slim Jim commercial with him and Bianca Belair, which basically tells you, wow, no wonder he won this match. He's in the damn commercial.
Hmm.
Because
But we
Steven had
already
saw
knew.
that.
We
We
already
saw that.
but to be honest with you, it was we knew he was going to win, and we basically told WWE with our voices he better win. I don't care if it's a nothing battle royal. He better win this nothing battle royal. That's all I gotta say. It
Like,
don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. I know it don't mean anything, but he better win this meaningless battle royal. That's all we
Like
got to say, WWE.
like he's on SummerSlam, so yeah, I know. Listen, I know everybody can go and call him the the new Rock in Austin or the White Rock or him doing that that elbow. People some would say like a people's elbow out there or the blunt force trauma. Some will sit there and say looks like the stunner and whatnot. Like the
And then he
dude's
ain't even using
super
his shoulder
super
though.
over.
He bringing a hit man head down on the ground. He ain't even
Yeah,
using the shoulder.
that's
I,
true.
I don't see the setup. If you talk about the setup, look like a son. Yeah, most setups that you kick the man in the gut, that means this nigga about to go for a son. Nah, man. He go. You could tell he bringing a man head down to the ground. He-
Yep, it's not an actual stunner. He's bringing his head to the ground and using his
If you want to
shoulders
say
and
the
everything.
elbow, if you want to say the elbow drop is a basically a people elbow, yeah, you can say that. But at the same time, though, we saw a lot of people do a lot of things that was like little theatrical things and jump up in the air and do something. You know, it's a setup. I think it only thing is people looking at it like it's an elbow drop. Like, look, bro, it's an elbow drop. That cut it out right there. Everybody else had a little signature thing they did before they did a move. That's just not that not blame the man for stealing people moves, and that's not accused the people. I mean, accusing him of stealing people gimmicks. Let's not do that. I really, I
Because I'm
really.
hearing that a lot nowadays.
But here's the thing, though. Me, and you know this been L.A. Knight, Eli Drake for the longest though.
Since
This
TNA.
ain't a new gimmick.
Since,
It been him for the longest. Why people acting all brand new now?
he did in TNA, he did in the NWA. The only difference is he's not saying dummy out there.
Like
He's
I,
still doing
I
a
just
yeah.
yeah, like come on, I just don't understand why people acting brand new now, Bryce. That's all. I just like why y'all acting brand new. Like man, especially hardcore wrestling fans, like y'all better cut it out now. Y'all, if y'all call yourself hardcore wrestling fan or consider yourself that, y'all should know this man been this character for the longest.
But everybody now said this is the White Rock. This is the new Austin Rock. I've been hearing that a lot now, so everybody's been going on to that. But like I said, at least he got the win. So hopefully something now happens with him, given he got this big win here at SummerSlam. But moving on from that, we move on to Ronda Rousey versus
No,
Shayna Baszler
no, I want to move on to this. Damn, I knew this
in
match
a
was coming up.
in
Man,
a MMA rules match, and man, this is what kind of killed the crowd. Obviously the crowd was not with this. They were trying to make this like a
a real
legit
MMA fight.
UFC fight when it's not really a UFC fight. It's like blood sport and whatnot. And listen, I know the rumors about apparently Ronda is on her way out the door. And, I guess she put Shayna over her friend. But other than a couple cool kicks they did out there, some would wonder, like, how is this really a legit MMA? Like, oh, she kicked Ronda in the head. If this is UFC, it'd probably be over for real. But, they're trying, do a work simulated UFC match out here. And in a way, I should say they kind of protected Ronda in a way because one, she didn't tap out. Like Shayna hit the careful the clutch, but Ronda didn't tap out. And listen, I know this was like I said to get Shayna over, but it's not Shayna didn't like go over dominantly over Ronda Rousey. Okay, like you know she did have some time. It's Ronda. Let's remember it is Ronda, but she had some time struggling with her out there at the same time. So I get why Shayna won, especially if it's been said for a while that Ronda's on her way out the door. Because let's be honest, her second run has not gone out well at all. It really hasn't. And I know there's been rumors about her apparently going back to USC, or Dana White's offering this crazy amount of money. I don't really think she's gonna go back, to be honest. But this whole thing, it just was not good. This it just wasn't.
Oh, oh, you passed the baton to me. Oh no, you did it. You should never did it, Bryce. You should never did it. Cause I'm about to hit you with some funny stuff. And this is not by this is not on purpose that I'm about to do this. This is all by accident. So, all right. So yesterday, going back to yesterday, I actually accidentally looked at a couple of things that kind of spoiled things for me, but it wasn't. Like I kind of, as soon as I saw something, I kind of turned away from it. Like, oh, so I won't look at it. So I looked on it. I looked on Twitter or whatever you want to call it now, and I saw a post that said people were walking out the match around the
Oh,
Rousey, and I was like, oh no! And now this is way before I got to watch SummerSlam. Now I told you I only watched it this morning. So I'm all, I swear, this is on my head the whole time, even when I'm about to go to sleep, because I knew I'm like, man, dang, how bad was that match? So I got to watch it, right? I fast forward, right? And then I stopped myself. I'm like, Kyle, you about to do a review. Go back to the parts that you just missed, Kyle. All right, go ahead, because you about to do a review, right? So why you gotta watch the whole match? You gotta suffer like everybody else suffered live. I like, all right, cool. I suffered there. And I suffered, Bryce. My goodness, that was horrible. What they was trying to do? What they trying to do, Bryce? You gotta be kidding me, man. They trying to replicate a real MMA fight. Are you serious? How you gonna replicate something that legit? Like, no, I'm sorry, man. Like that was just horrible. It took the crowd out. The crowd was just out of it. You could tell they were just waiting for the bell to ring, waiting for the winner. They didn't care who won. The referee could have won. It didn't matter to them. That's like that was horrible. That was bad, right? And I see why they walked out.
I didn't even know they walked out.
Yeah, I saw that on Ringside News, and I was looking at the pictures that people were walking out. Looking at the pictures that people walking out in droves. It
Wow.
wasn't. I don't think they were walking out of the show. I think they went to the
Bathroom
merchandise
break.
stands and bathroom break. Right there we go. Yeah, yeah. I don't want the people. I don't want the listeners to think that we think they just walked out the show. No, they use that as a bathroom break. They use it as a concession stand break. They use that match to get things done. That's like, man. I might as well go get the popcorn now too. This match horrible. It didn't do nothing for Shayna. Like you said, she barely won. She what passed out. So didn't do nothing for Shayna. Ronda about to go soon. So what is this? Like my goodness, that was just bad, bro. That was the worst match in the night to me. And it
And
was actually a bad match compared to what I said about Logan Paul and Ricochet earlier. It wasn't like they had a bad match. It wasn't. I just wasn't interested in either of those two guys. But with this, it was horrible. It was a bad match.
yeah, and to add on to that, looking at the whole story of this whole thing, I know they tried video packages with the sit down interviews at the last second. I don't think a lot of people cared. At one point, I even said, "Who's the face in this whole situation and whatnot?" Because people just have not liked Ronda for a while. We can go on
Nah, she
about
the
her
heel. She was the heel of this situation.
because we can go in about Ronda's run, her second run, and how it has not been good. Which even I felt at one point saying, I feel like she just became just another person part of the roster. At one point, she was the big box office attraction that, people wanted to see when she first got there, being a killer and whatnot. But it's like once she came back, I said this when the draft happened, she just felt like another person that was just there. And I just think this feud wasn't all that. Like I said, we can go in all day about Ronda. This just wasn't it. So I get why she wanted to put Shayna over. I understand that, but
Yeah.
this was not it. And let me ask you this question real fast. Like,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
do you think she is going back to UFC, or if any of that is true?
All right, so here's the thing with the UFC thing. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about that. So here's the thing, Bryce. Do you really want to? What she is now? What, early 30s, mid 30s now? Which one?
One of the two.
One of the two. But anyway, it's too old to talk about calling yourself going back after you just did all these things in the in the WWE. WWE is wrestling period. It ain't like it's some type of ballet. You know what I'm saying? People think, oh man, she got a lighter schedule. She ain't getting punched for real and all that stuff. Look, y'all don't think is what she doing is just a danger? She falling out the ring, getting slammed through tables and stuff like that. Come on, her body ain't no spring chicken no more, man. She ain't about to bounce up off of the injury. I don't think she go if she take herself back over there to the UFC, it ain't gonna look too good for her. That's how I'm looking at it. I really am looking at it like that. I don't think it look good for her to take her talents back to UFC.
Here's another thing. Me and Steven talked about this earlier. Do you really want to see her go back? Is she gonna like, reignite the Kindle that was there before, or is it just not gonna go out well? And people can bring up how, when Anderson Silva was there second time around and how that didn't go out well. Because let's remember, and I know some people bring up like, oh, maybe she's going back because Amanda Nunes retired and everything now, so maybe she'll go back. There's still a lot of people there like Holly Holm who did kick her head off at one point that
Yeah,
gave a big loss. Let's not forget that. Listen, Nunez just finished the damn job and sent her back in the WWE. Holm was the first shot. Okay, so I don't think she's going back to UFC. I'm sure the WWE will counter that offer if this alleged money that Dana White is offering up to come back, if that even happens. But I don't think she's gonna go back there. I don't know if it's gonna be like, okay, she's gonna go back and start kicking everybody's ass. Then I don't know, but I don't think I really want to see that. So I don't know what happens with Rousey next. I really don't know. But like I said,
to
apparently
be
this was.
perfectly honest with you, I don't think anybody cares. So that's how Ronda fell off. Ronda used to be so hot. You thought she was gonna be like, man, dang shit, that's gonna be your next star right there. She fell off so bad, man. Nobody care about what she do now. Nobody like nobody cares, bro. I know you don't. And I
And
really
like I
do.
say, look at her second run and who they had her against and where she was, and obviously the face thing didn't work. And don't get me started on those Liv Morgan matches. Like, don't get me started on that. And we talked about the whole emergency break Charlotte glass, and you know we saw how that went. And then they made her and Shayna a team, and I thought I was gonna do something and go dominant on everybody. But then the whole turn back at Money in the Bank, because I look at them even when they were a tag team, like the only people they really beat was other than Liv and Raquel. Got remember they did beat Alba and Isla Dawn for the tag titles, even though we never saw them again after that. But that's a conversation for another time. But it's kind of like it's one of them things that came and went. It's like Ronda's there, but it's not like people were like super excited to see her. It's not like what it was before when she first got here. It's not. And like I said, I don't think a lot of people really care that much.
Yeah.
So that's the way to look at it. But this was not good. Now going next to where I feel like the crowd still did not care in a way was Drew McIntyre versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, which more advertisement from Rocket, whatever it was, some phone company, I believe, but more advertisement. And listen, this wasn't a bad match.
It wasn't. It
Okay?
wasn't. I
It wasn't.
definitely agree.
But I don't think people really believe Drew was gonna win. And you can tell by how the crowd felt about this. I don't think this was a bad match, and they went like what 13 minutes out there. Don't get me wrong,
Beat the
Gunther
hell out
just
of each other.
yeah, they beat the hell out of each other. Gunther comboed him like literally in the end to beat
Oh, I
him.
love that combo. I love it. Man, boy, I love that combo. I ain't gonna
That
lie to you, bro. I was the wrong combo.
that combo was cold. He comboed the hell out of him in the end. Did I think Drew was gonna win and beat him?
Nah,
I
to
a
you,
little. I thought a little because at
what's your
first when
percentage?
he came back, like hear me out. Like when he came back, we hadn't seen him in months since like WrestleMania. Because before, I thought he would have won at WrestleMania, but that did not
Yeah,
happen. And then he came back in Money in the Bank. So I'm like, maybe he's gonna beat, Gunther for the Intercontinental title and everything and whatnot. And it looked like they had their on their way going. I know they had Riddle with them for a second, but they kind of drop that now. We'll talk about his booking another time because that's a whole conversation to say too. But Drew, I kind of thought he was gonna win. In a way, I did. I'm like, maybe he could be the one, but obviously not. I still think they do want to go with beating Honky Tonk Man's record because they did mention that on commentary, saying Gunther's only a month away until he beats the Honky Tonk Man's record. So they look like they're gonna do that, but I kind of had a feeling Drew was gonna win, but then again, bad people tell me you don't really bet against Gunther and whatnot. So it was a good match. I thought it was enjoyable. I don't think the crowd was really into it away. I don't think people believe Drew was ever gonna win. I don't think they did.
all right.
So I don't really got a lot to say about that.
I don't either. That's what I just really gotta say. Like, I don't think that I do agree what you just said, and I want to add on to that. They thought to themselves, you better not let Drew win. And there's a lot of people that would have turned real quick. Drew would have been a heel. I don't think people wanted to see Gunther lose to Drew. That, that, that's how I feel. And plus the build to the match. Do you really look at the weeks of the build, the weeks leading up to SummerSlam? He had a few. It looked like he was more in a feud with Riddle than Drew. I know Drew has some movies that he has to do. I know that's the reason why he took out for a couple of weeks and stuff. But it
I heard
wasn't like
contract.
no, he doing a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, couple of weeks not leading to the feud. Talking about when he came back, and then he took a couple of more weeks off after that. Then he
Okay.
came. Yeah,
Yeah, he was
remember he
gone off
wasn't.
Raw for a few
He wasn't.
times.
He wasn't even. Was he even there during the Go Home show on Raw? No, Gunther had that match with Chad Gable at the Go Home Raw.
Yep, that's true.
So yeah, he wasn't there. That's another reason why nobody really care about this match because, like, man, they looked at it as you just throw two big guys, two big names, not big names, but two stars that's in your company. You just throwing the two together because you need an intercontinental match, intercontinental title match, and SummerSlam. So Drew was basically was a good opponent for Gunther. But that's the reason why nobody really cared about it. I barely was in out of this match until like a couple excuse me. But a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? It's just a couple of times that I would turn it away. But I love the combo. That and that was my favorite part of the match. But it just wasn't. Just didn't get me. It just didn't get me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't a war like we saw at Mania with Sheamus involved. That was a war, but it was good. It just like I said, I don't think people believe Drew was gonna win. And Gunther won. He beat him clean. And I'm gonna probably bring that up a little bit later when it comes to title reigns between him and Roman. because I did explain this earlier, and I'll bring that back up later on. But yeah, Gunther won, and that was just kind of it. He beat Drew clean, comboed him, and that was it. So it's not really much to go off on that. So yeah, Gunther retained. Next though, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship, a rematch from SummerSlam from over 7 years ago. You know, even Seth coming out there, doing well, he had the kind of gear from that SummerSlam when, you know, Balor only had the title for like 24 hours at that time. I think this was one of the best matches of the night. I think this was really good. I do get annoyed by the singing for some reason nowadays because they really are pushing that, and the guys really Cesar Romero Joker out there. But I enjoyed this match though. I did. And obviously you knew Judgment Day was going to get involved one way or another. They got involved, and you know, Finn's telling Priest, you know, use the briefcase, and then he's distracting the ref, and then Seth just runs up on him, curb stomps Finn into the briefcase, and then, you know, retains the title. And then we see Finn and Priest, you know, obviously dissension now within the Judgment Day even more, especially right now when all the Judgment Day members are holding gold except for Finn Balor right now. Did I think he was gonna win? In a way, I kind of wanted him to. In a way, I actually did. Before, I didn't really believe in Finn Balor ever beating Seth in the past. But now that they've kind of, you know, people are building to this, they, you know, made him look more vicious out there. Because before, the guy was just literally a German Shepherd out there. Now at least they kind of made him into a killer in a way, and having Judgment Day take out Seth multiple account of times and whatnot. So it could even been with Finn winning and then Priest cashing in right after. But no, Seth still did retain the title, and like I said, more dissension within the Judgment Day. So I thought it was really good, and I thought the finish was really good, super clean.
Oh well, I knew we were gonna have to disagree on something, and this is gonna be it right here. I thought the match was kind of tedious to me.
Tedious, you say?
Yeah, kind of took too long to get to the point. Kind of, you know, like you were looking forward to the ending more than you were looking forward to the journey to the ending. If you feel what I'm saying. Like you wasn't really looking forward to the match. You were looking forward to seeing what will Damian Priest do. And I just didn't really. I want. I didn't say I want to say I want to end this match. They're two good wrestlers, phenomenal wrestlers. That Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. You know they match is gonna bang. But I didn't think Finn was gonna win. That was the whole thing about it. Now, if Damian Priest never won the Money in the Bank, I would have probably thought about it a different way, and I probably would have had hopes that Finn Balor would have won the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, when Priest got the Money in the Bank in the same group as the guy who going for the World Heavyweight Championship, why am I thinking that guy going to win? He not. I just never thought he was going to win. I never thought that Damian Priest would go cash in his Money in the Bank. I just never thought. That's why I want to end the match like that. It kind of got it's like what we were saying about Drew McIntyre and Gunther. We never thought if we never thought that Drew going to win, then that's the reason why we wasn't really in the match like that. That's how I felt about this one too. I never thought Finn Balor was going to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
And I want to add on kind of onto it because I feel like the crowd believed more in Balor than they did with Drew.
Yeah, they did because they at the same time they don't like you said they thought they were going to have a cash in effect to it. So they probably were looking at that, and I never thought that Damien was going to cash in his Money in the Bank. That's how I felt then. It's like I don't know what to say.
I got you because I just feel like Finn probably had a better chance here, in some sort of way, and the people did eat this match up. So I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, it still tells more of the story within this dissension the Judgment Day. And, you got a point what you said, though. Like, the guy that told the Money in the Bank is going to be okay with the guy going for the world title, which he probably can cash in at any moment and any time immediately when he wants to. But, Seth obviously, like I say, still retained and walked out the title, even with all the Judgment Day stuff going on. One thing I can add, I kind of discussed this earlier. It's kind of funny in a way. I feel like him and Becky kind of somewhat have the same gimmick when it comes to the outlandish stuff. The gear, almost like the big time Bex. The crazy gear sometimes.
But I don't think she dressing like big time Bex though. She haven't been
But
dressing like
before
big
that,
time.
before when she was big time Bex.
I mean, and he was something else. He was the Messiah.
He was the visionary. Well, not the visionary yet. I just think it's kind of funny. Like Seth's kind of damn near doing the same gimmick she did.
I don't think so. Not at
And so
all.
I
You
just
see,
it kind of
hers
felt
was the
like that to
Conor
me.
McGregor type of gimmick. Come out there big time, yeah, woo. He coming out there,
But yeah, that's why I keep calling him Caesar Romero Joker.
Yeah, I don't think those are two things right there. Yeah, with the gear, you could say the gear is outlandish, but that's what any outlandish character who want to bring attention to herself,
Yep,
which
and
both
the
characters
singing
was,
and the
which both
singing,
characters. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because they love.
I don't think they characters the same.
I gotcha. Because even I would say like I think with the singing, I do think they kind of overdo it sometime. No, but I guess the gimmick. But sometimes when they have 'em just stand in the middle ring and let it keep going on for several minutes, it just kind of gets annoying. Sometime after a while, in my opinion. So, but then I get what WWE
But that's
likes to.
mine too. I'm with you on that too, boy. I'm with you. I'm
WWE
done with
likes to
that.
beat you over the head with stuff and keep it going. Once they think, okay, just getting over, we're gonna keep beating you over the head with it. So I think they do it too much where it gets annoying. No. But next, more advertisement. You got Mike's Hard Lemonade with the Academy and Miz, and then you have a triple threat match for the women's title. Asuka, Charlotte, Bianca, which once again more sponsorship from that C4 drink, and obviously Bianca's gear was definitely have, and she even came out the drink for the C4 drink, cold gear though, by the way, but what they were promoting out there. Um, I will say this: I think the match was good. I thought it kind of dragged on a little at first, like everybody trying to get their spots in and everything, especially from a lot of double team moves. I think in second gear it got better because even I felt like the crowd. It took a minute for the crowd to kind of get into it. Also, one thing I kind of figured was already going to be a new champion, and what kind of gave me away on that was when Asuka came out second. I'm like, oh, the champion's not coming out last. Even I was like, yeah, it's about to be a new champion. That just kind of told me it was going to be a new champion right there, right now. And I did like the whole, them doing the whole knee thing where Bianca looked like she hurt her knee and did look kind of legit. But you see how they got the camera away from her until she came running back because we thought it was just going to be Charlotte and Asuka. And I even thought that Charlotte was just going to win in general. But Bianca hobbled her way back there, to do that 450 and whatnot. And Charlotte ended up focusing on her leg, put her in the figure eight. Asuka comes back with the mist, but Bianca was able to roll up Asuka and win the title. So I knew one way or another Asuka was just gonna lose in this in general, and her coming out second gave it away. But then immediately right after, we had Io Shirai come out and cash in her Money in the Bank. Bailey's with her. They take out Charlotte and Asuka, hit Bianca with the briefcase. Io hits the moonsault and wins the title. All of Damage Control comes in and celebrates, including Dakota Kai. Some would say they're the heels, so why are we cheering for the heels to celebrate? But Io end up winning the title from there. So I didn't think this was bad.
All right, my second favorite match in the night. Go
This is
to the
really good.
triple threat. Man, boy, give Bianca a goddamn Oscar now, for real. That selling was beautiful, boy. Did you see the selling? Did you
Oh yeah.
what you feeling? What you feeling her selling? Because I did. I really thought she was legitimately hurt. soon as I heard the scream, I was like, "Oh, is she hurt for real?"
It
Man,
looked like
good.
it.
It looked like it. Good selling, especially when she won the match too. Because when she won the match, Charlotte still got the mist in her eyes, and she still got her connected in the figure eight. And while the mist in her eyes, she telling the referee trying to hand her the championship. She slapping the championship out of her hand, telling her to help me get Charlotte off my leg. I was rolling. I was like, that's legit. That's how you legitimately sell something. Man, why am I celebrating where I still in the move? But I kind of figured, I kind of figured EO will go to cash in to, last night. I just knew it. I don't know why. With a like with WWE will have a superstar say something, I kind of believe it because it ain't about to. I'm not about to advertise to you. Basically, that's what she was doing on Thursday. I mean on Friday. I'm going to cash in the Money in the Bank. Whoa! Did you just say you going to? You better do it then. And that's what happened. I knew that EO was going to. Now, Bryce, here's the thing though. I know they love to do experiments and stuff like that and want to give people chances at the title and all that stuff. That's no problem with me with that. But can she get over?
You know, we talk. Yeah,
That's
Oscar. I mean,
no, no, no,
EO
no.
getting them.
Yeah, can EO get over?
That's a good question. That's a
I don't
very
want to
good.
see this as a wasted championship run. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see her drop the title with the next two pay-per-views and have that it didn't mean anything. I don't
True.
want to see that. So can she get over? That's all I want to know.
Can she get over on her own? And how long will they keep Bailey around with her and whatnot? So
I think they about to turn. I think Io gonna end up being the face. Bailey gonna be her first challenger. That's how we gonna do things.
yeah,
If
well,
not Oscar,
well, we kind of talked about this earlier too, because now Bianca, she lost the title after she just won it, so now she has a reason to go back after the title now, and Asuka too, which we had a long talk about Asuka earlier, especially how most of this entire feud was mostly about Bianca and versus Charlotte, which obviously the money match, and given Asuka was just there and whatnot throughout all this, even though she's the champion, but I don't know. Asuka's booking is weird sometimes. People thought it was going to be big when when she went back to Kana. That's what people wanted on the internet. They wanted Kana back, but it hadn't really been like that. It just hasn't.
but you want to go get Connor. Connor was too ruthless, too vicious. You think WWE will go give you that viciousness, that
Oh
ruthlessness?
no,
No,
no, no,
it
no.
wasn't.
And they thought even they would get Oscar from NXT when she was just straight up murdering everybody.
Nah, because guess what? On this main roster, we got we got bigger stars that she can't just run through like a hot knife through butter. She's not going to do that, and we're not going to allow her to do
That's true. They weren't gonna go with that. Um, so I wasn't really surprised when she lost here. I don't know when she just came out second. That just kind of told me she was already gonna lose. She just was. I just knew it was coming. It's like her taking the L out of all this because, like I said, Charlotte wasn't pinned or tapped out. It was Oscar.
it.
So
But it was a roll up pin. Everybody got an out.
yeah, she did get a
I
roll
mean,
up pin.
everybody got an out. Everybody was messed up in that match. I don't think it was winner or real loser in that match, except for the real winner was Bianca or Io. But I
Somehow they got
don't
to
think
try to find a way to protect everybody. And I said this earlier with protecting people and whatnot. especially throughout the night. And then, depending who's booking it is, whatever, be bench Triple H. But I think you said it about Triple H a while ago, about him protecting everybody and not really letting them take a straight up L.
But you ain't need the straight up L in this match though. You really didn't. It should never been because everybody at the spot that they need to be at. Bianca a star, Charlotte a star. Oscar is a very dependable worker. You could make her the champion at any time you really want to. And she would carry that championship. She would give you good championship matches. And so I think everybody is at the spot they need to be at. And it wasn't going to help anybody throughout, anybody if they would have got a pin over each other or a submission over each other. It would not even help anybody. Would it hurt or would it help? Also, you saw how cluttered that finish was. She was in the figure four. Bianca going off of instinct. She missed the kick, roll up, 1, 2,
Rolled her
3.
up.
And it was like it wasn't even like it was like a dominant win. Like she hit the KOD on the girl while
Oh,
she had it.
no. Yeah, she got the roll up.
I'm like
And then, like I
that's
said, and like you said, right after that, Money in the Bank, and Bianca's already down, and EO just comes in and finishes the job and wins from there. So in a way, everybody did have an out from all of
yeah,
this. But
yeah.
one important question, like you said earlier, a few minutes ago, was will EO get over? That's the real thing now with the title. So time will tell about that if she does or not. But overall, I thought this stuff was really good. Like this was definitely good stuff right here. So um, I ain't minded. I liked it. But next we go to the main event. The main event. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in a tribal combat match, basically no DQ for the undisputed title. And honestly, I'm glad I went to the bathroom because both of them entrances combined was nearly 20 minutes. And when I knew it was a long ramp and I knew it was Roman, that was the time for me to get something to drink and go to the bathroom. And by the time I came back, the bell rang. But to be honest about this match was very long. This match was a total of 36 minutes, even felt longer to me, but I felt a lot of things were moving in slow motion. Obviously, you're going to get all your weapons in there, the kendo sticks, the chairs, the tables, even a leather strap. But there were just times where, and maybe because this is Roman matches and you kind of figure out how to pattern and whatnot. One thing Steve would say, you talk about this is an entire blood feud and how the history of this going all the way back from the beginning of Roman just beating the hell and abusing Jay and all that. But let's start off with some running the ropes and whatnot instead of both of these guys going immediately in and trying to murder each other straight up, but we gotta get some basic wrestling in first. And one thing I remember was when Jay had the chair, was going for a Roman, and I felt like it was going forever until Solo popped up with the super kick, because we all know he was going to be involved in this too, so there's no surprise by that. And Solo and Roman arguing, but if you know how these Roman matches go, you get 20 minutes of 20 minutes a match. Usually it's like a ref bump, and then it's going to be a bunch of shenanigans. There was no ref bump this time, and we knew shenanigans obviously got involved in all of this. But, Jay is just basically damn near on his own, trying to fight everybody out there. Roman, someone looking surprised when he even kicks out, but Jay fighting back from Solo and Roman, getting a spear on him and stuff in the ring. We think he's going to win it. But then next thing you know, they have Jimmy Uso in a hoodie, all black and everything. Kind of like Solo, which we've seen before, come out in all black hoodie, attack Jay, and then stare at him for God knows how long. It was like 5 minutes until he finally super kicked him. I didn't think any of that made sense there to do that. Yes, the bloodline beat the living dog crap out of you a whole month ago, put you through a table, beat you with the title, and sent you to the hospital. But no, let's have him betray his brother and then gets thrown back in the ring. Roman spears him, it's over. He retains the title. One really thing I liked throughout this match was probably Paul Heyman's reactions, especially when he's going like, Jay, why are you doing this? He's your family. He loves you, man. Don't do this, man. Do not do this, Jay. Like the reactions from him was hilarious. But even in the end, when Heyman and Roman are just standing in the ring, I thought somebody was gonna come out. And a lot of people probably thought someone was going to come out. They thought it would have been Randy Orton. They thought it would have been The Rock. They thought it would have been Bray Wyatt. But no, show just ends with Roman winning. And I just felt like this match was in slow motion. It went on forever. It just goes on forever. And like I know I said more earlier and whatnot, but that's kind of I'm just hitting the main points through a lot of this stuff. And this just was not it just was not it. It wasn't. What it took 3 guys to beat Jey Uso technically. So it's almost like if you know a Roman match, you kind of know how it's gonna play out. You just know.
Oh, that's silent. Oh, you passed me the baton again.
Oh my bad, but yeah, like, what do you like to chime in if I add anything else?
Oh no, that's what I meant. I like that silent me. You passed it back to me again. Oh, Christ, man! Like how many? Remember, I don't know if you remember what I had said the last Roman match. That it was just too long. I didn't like it. Remember, I said it was one of my least favorite matches of that last. What was our last pay per view?
Money in the Bank.
That was up. That tag team match was my least favorite. All right, I even said it then, and so it wasn't gonna change. Now I'm telling you, I think I'm getting tired of the Roman Reigns format. Real talk. I get tired of the Roman Reigns format. I really am. And I think WWE needs to pivot next pay per view. Do not put his matches at the main event. Get him out the way. Probably in the middle of the card. Because here's the thing, yes, it's bringing in good ratings when it comes down to their promos, their segments on SmackDown and everything. I understand it. They do bring in a nice amount of ratings. But the format of his matches are wearing on people now. It can't just be me and you. Did Seaman like this match?
Oh hell no. We went that was the longest thing we talked about earlier. We went in on that.
And see, there we go. So there we go. We got three different people who had three different opinions about everything else, but we came together like Voltron for this one. We did not like this match. Nobody, I don't care. I'm going to talk to my cousin probably tomorrow. He didn't get to watch it. But I can promise you, he probably going to say the same thing. This went too long. It didn't make sense. Why Jimmy is now doing it? Why Jimmy? It don't make no sense. Oh, what they gonna give us, Bryce, on Friday? What they gonna
They'll
say?
give us some weird explanation. And I'm gonna be honest too. I didn't watch that post conference thing they did, but it almost reminds me when Triple H came out there, talking about finish the story and everything. Well, no, we gotta. This is adding another chapter. Like, is that what's really what this whole Jimmy and Jay thing? Like, yeah, we think it's gonna end like this, but this is finishing. This isn't finishing the chapter. This is a whole new book. This is a whole new chapter. And even I was like, go on with that if he really came out there and said something like that again in the post conference. Because yeah, they'll come up with some crazy like reason why did Jimmy betray Jay? What did he want to be the tribal chief or something like that? I thought this didn't make any type of sense at all. It's like they kicked the crap out of you. So why now? Why? And it's like I said, you know how these matches go, you know how it's patterned, and it kind of brings me to what Gunther and whatnot, because several people have told me this. They probably like his title reign better than Roman's, because like, yeah, Gunther has a crew, but he can kick your ass on his own a lot. Roman, we've
Yeah,
seen
both
for a
of those
long
matches
time.
they want. That's what they
Oh,
want,
Kevin
man.
Dunn wants that.
That's what all the upper management want. The wrestlers probably don't want this to be as theatrical as it is, but
And I
the upper management do, because upper management hired writers that come for Hollywood. So you can't tell me that's what they not looking for when they hiring writers coming from Hollywood.
that is true. That is definitely true about um writers coming from Hollywood and whatnot. So it just it makes you think where a lot of this is going and whatnot. So and listen, even me and Gerard was talking about this last night. He felt like sometimes Roman sounds like he's out there auditioning for the next Fast and Furious movie half the time, and you know, Jay comes off at least a little bit more realer than him, but still though, like still what like how much can we put into this whole story? I just feel like it's gone on for a very long time. And even with Jay, yeah, I've talked about him. If anybody's really gonna believe he's gonna win, like he could be like one of those guys that break out of the tag team to become a single star, like that. Because listen, we've seen it before, whether it be a brother tag team or someone in the tag team breaks out to become a big major star. Do you really see that in Jey Uso? Don't get me wrong, his stock has risen very highly and whatnot. But do you see him like as a big main event star on his own when we've seen people that broke out of tag teams like a Jeff Hardy or a Shawn Michaels or a Booker T or a Scott Steiner or Bully Ray? I
I
can go
do,
through tag teams all day uh
I
with
do,
Jay.
I do. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do. I truly, truly believe it, all my heart. Right? I'm not lying to you. I really do. It's just gonna be a little difficult for him because here's the thing. His his tag team is unique, where it's twins, and so it's like it ain't like it was like Booker T and Stevie Ray or Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. It was two different guys. You saw that, but you see twins when you see Usos. So you can't. It's like it's gonna be hard for you to believe that that this twin tag team is split it up now, and they about to be on their own. It's like, man, who is who? You know, we just now getting to be. You get what I'm saying? Getting to the point that we notice the difference of the two. We just had this conversation, didn't we,
Oh
bro?
yeah, they've had their own personalities. Yes, we have. We've definitely
Well,
seen that.
we had a conversation that we know the difference because now they got the different styles, the different hairstyles, and a different type of clothing they will probably wear. Well, it's like now we got to see the differences, but it's like I think Jay got the chops. Jay, he could cut a fire promo. He could make you believe. You know, some of those promos be hitting you sometimes. You be like, man, Jay, whoa, I'm gonna run through a brick wall for you. That's how good the promos are, you know. And I think
True.
he really do got the chops to become a main event star. And we talk about as big as Roman? Nah, no,
Uh,
no, not
and
at all.
one other thing to add, because I noticed I've seen this being brought up a lot, especially given how long this match was. Some say we could have omitted some of this stuff because apparently it was supposed to be Trish versus Becky, but that didn't happen, or it could have been Rhea versus Raquel for the title, but that did not happen. We already know what they've done for that. Or a lot of people said like, where's Edge on this card? How come Edge hasn't really had nothing for Edge? Some people thought he could have been on this card, and probably could have omitted some time out of this match. Because did this really need to go 36 minutes? I felt like it was dragging after a while and just moving in slow motion. That's what I really felt about this. I just was not with this. And it's like Steven said, it's gonna be a lot of mental gymnastics when this match is discussed, or even and even what he said, and or even Dry told me last night. You talk about Roman Reigns' reign as the champion and whatnot. People talk about how great it is. This is probably the greatest thing in wrestling, and God knows how many years of the greatest story in wrestling. And some will debate you and say there are others that are better, but when you think about this entire reign, do you think it has been the same? Well, I've already said this, but the same pattern. We've done this for a very long time, and how this goes. Maybe in the get go it was different when it was started out, but now as time moved on, it's like we see the same thing over and over and over and over. And it's like I said, this could have been done without the title, especially
And
this whole
it definitely
tribal.
could have been done without the title. It definitely could
This
have been
wasn't even
done.
about the title. This is more about the tribal chief, who becomes the chief, tribal warfare, the elders, all this, like it's Mortal Kombat out here or something. So they really could have done this without the title. So obviously now I guess it's gonna be Jay versus Jimmy now, which most likely will be a payback. But here's the real question: who really goes after Roman Reigns next now for the title? Really think about that. Because let me ask you this question: did you think anybody was really gonna come out at the end, especially the names I had mentioned earlier about this, or who is even Roman's next like opponent?
Well, Bryce, I don't know. That's a tough question because on the simple fact that nobody is as over as Roman is right now if you take away anybody in the bloodline. So right now, I think they set it up for Solo. To be honest with you, I see. We can remember the match that he speared Solo. Solo got mad at him. You know what I'm saying? So I think they geared up for that. But here's the thing, though, Bryce. I will counter your question. Is do you at this point do you even care who take the belt off of him at this point? And
Roman?
no. And let me finish the question. It's a part
Okay.
two question. That part one right there. And part two, do you think he needs to go on a little sabbatical? So he needs to go on a little breaky break.
Like for a long time, maybe. I feel like that'll
Nah,
happen. I feel like they've already
not
had
for
him
a
kind of
long
somewhat.
time.
Well, I feel like they've had him take some sabbaticals already because he ain't on every show and he ain't on every pay per view. He shows up like
No, I'm
what
talking
every
about
couple of weeks.
real sabbatical. That means without the championship. That means without any name, without him mentioning Roman Reigns, none of that.
We're talking about
Straight
Jay, right?
sabbatical. No. I'm talking about Roman Reigns get just go for a while. I mean, for a while, take the belt off of him, have him just go.
Oh no,
Do
he would
you?
probably be gone for a minute once he loses that title. Yeah, he'd be gone for a while. I do
I
believe
said,
that.
do you think he need to do it soon?
Yeah, but knowing them, they want to wait till WrestleMania to do that.
We can't do that again. We can't afford to do that again. We just can't.
I personally, in which goes back to our conversation from earlier, should have pulled the trigger on Cody back at this year's WrestleMania. Did anybody really want to wait till next year's WrestleMania? Not really.
Especially now, bro. It's like, man, I just don't see the reason to keep him as champion. I really don't. I just don't see it now. Like, yeah, man, it was a fun ride. Don't get me wrong. This bloodline stuff was good, man.
But how long can we keep
Keep on
dragging
doing
this
this.
out and coming up with something new for the people to care about? Because it's like we can go. Some will already look at it like Days of Our Lives, or like we talk about the cinema and whatnot. Like they'll do some things to keep the story interesting, but how much is there left or keep going to tell? But oh, it's a new chapter now. Jimmy betrayed Jay. But yeah, I'm sure
Man,
they'll come up with a reason why this Friday on SmackDown. But I was like, when I saw it, I was like, this makes zero sense. It just made
yeah.
zero sense to me. I'm like, really? This is the best we going with. And people all maybe could have been Jacob Fatu. Well, they didn't sign Jacob Fatu, so that was not happening. And people just thought it was going to be something in the end where Roman and them just stand there and Heyman's giving him the title, and maybe someone's music hit or somebody runs out of nowhere and does something. But nope, doesn't happen. Show ends, Roman holds the belt, him and Heyman leave. That's it. Same old, same old.
Yeah, same old, same old.
So it's not like it
Hey,
was a big surprise or something big was gonna happen in the end. This is, like I said, it's the Roman formula, and this is what we got from all of this. So it was just a no DQ match.
yeah, Bryce. I just wasn't feeling it. It's just I'm tired of the same old with Roman now. It's like, uh, all right. It's like now do we see the reason why he wasn't over in the first place? Like, yeah, we got him over as this heel and everything, and this group and this fashion and this storyline that they have around him. But it was the reason why we didn't like him in the first place. You know, it was the
So
reason.
so at this point in time, I just kind of like, how long do we keep this whole title reign, thousand whatever day at this point to keep going, and whatever type of stuff they add into it. So it's like I said, the mental gymnastics already happening, people, of how this is justified. Oh, well, you got to understand, it's this, it's that. Open. This is a new chapter. This is a new book. Cody's in his own other book right now. We've left the title for a minute to go to a book with Brock. So I just like, I don't know. And like I said, it felt like it was going on forever. Like, yeah, this match was like 36 minutes, but if you count video packages and entrances, that's like damn near 40 to 50 minutes. And this show went off like, oh, well, I know you didn't watch it live, but this show didn't go off to air till like damn near, oh God, I think almost like what, 11 something last night, 11:20
Now,
maybe.
I know, Bryce. You ain't gotta tell me because I was waiting for it to end off of Peacock so I could go and rewatch it. It would not. I got it a crib. Like I probably say I got it a crib and I turned on Peacock and they said it was 2 hours in. All right, cool. All right, probably another hour. That's how I thought. Like probably another hour. Let me come back. So I played the game for a little while until the hour was up, so I could go back to it. It said it's still going on. It was like 4 hours in. Like, hold on, am I about to watch a 4 hour pay per view again? Hey, Lord behold, it was. I started the pay per view at 4 o'clock this morning. I ain't end the pay per view until 8 o'clock this morning. I
Damn.
didn't take no pauses. I didn't do anything, Bryce. I let the pay per view go through fast all the way through. Even when I went to the bathroom, I didn't pause the pay per view. I just let it go all the way through and seal for 4 hours. Like nobody want that stuff no more. WWE, like what y'all doing, man?
And listen,
What is
I
y'all
understand.
doing?
His thing. I can understand why this pay per view went long, given it's SummerSlam and it's one of the big four, and it's obviously one of the biggest shows. You can probably count that as number two, or maybe Royal Rumble is number two, however you want to take it. But obviously, SummerSlam is one of the big ones. So I can understand why this was a very long show, because it was a total of 9 matches on this card. So I can kind of get that in a way. I just don't think this main event needed to go as long as it did.
No, I did it. It did it. But as long as we keep all tuning in for the Bloodline segments and giving them good ratings through those segments, they would continue to do stuff like this.
Because like I said, who's really next against Roman now, and whatnot? Like, AJ's in his own feud right now. Lashley, they already, I don't even think Lashley right now, because they're working on whatever's new with
Bingo.
that.
We got a winner, Bryce. We got a winner. What? Who you just say? Did you
Lashley,
just no before him?
AJ.
There we go. There we go. That's the perfect opponent to take the damn belt off of him. Please, somebody book this feud for real. Cause I don't mind AJ being the WWE champion. I really don't. I know he gonna be there. I know his match is gonna go bang. I know it ain't gonna give me the same old matches every time. he could work with different types of opponents. And I really do think I give my high hopes up. I know I am. Please don't get your high hopes up. But I really don't mind. I really don't mind AJ being the WWE champion.
I wouldn't mind, but knowing them, and I would like to see that, but I don't know if that's really gonna happen.
I know. I just saying. I'm
But
just
yeah, at
saying.
this point, I don't really know where they move on with Roman. Overall, grade of the show.
I actually rated it like a high B, to be honest. To all the matches I enjoy. I only really didn't enjoy the real bad matches. Even though we were talking about like Drew with Gunther and how I felt about Seth and Finn, they were still good matches, no matter what the situation is. They were still good matches, and so I rated a B. I don't know how you been seeing my on Twitter. I made my own star rating. And I've been doing it for a couple of pay-per-views now. I had like a
Yeah,
two star rating.
you and Steven have made your own rating systems.
Yeah, yeah. I I go by my kayfabe name, Kyle Meltzer. All right. No, I'm dead serious. Just look at myself. You will see. I will say my name is Kyle Meltzer, but I do get my star rating. It's legit. Like I'm. This is how I feel about it. And they ain't no like I'm making fun of the matches or anything like that. Nah, I really legit like if I this how I feel. It's a 5 star rating. It's just like Dave. It's a 5 star rating. No over five. I ain't giving it no 5.5. Ain't no 7 stars. Ain't no such thing. I was only five. If you got to the five, that means that was the best match. If you don't, then I can't just tell you this was a 5 star match, but this match here was a 6 star match. Like what's a 6 star, Dave? I thought you said it was five. And so my credibility of my star rating is not gonna I'm not gonna mess it up by adding more stars. If it's if you got 5 stars, that's it. Ain't no other over five.
I got you.
But the
I can
overall of the
understand.
show, it was a B. What about you?
I gave it a 7.5 earlier today. That's what I did.
What's that? What's that part of your grade rating? What is that part of your what? A C, a high C?
Kind of like a high C in a way.
Yeah,
That's what I gave it. So,
a
there was
little
some things
above average.
yeah, there was some stuff I like. I said I don't think the show sucked, but at the same time, some questionable decision makings at the same time in some of
Yeah,
these matches. Some were just bad, but there was a lot
yeah,
of good on here at the same time too. So that's how I felt about it. But obviously we were good going on the main event and Roman and the whole title reign thing and like shit. Even some people sit there say like even a reign of terror with Triple H wasn't as bad as this.
no,
Like
it wasn't.
some say at least
Dang,
Triple
man.
H elevated more
Everybody,
people.
dang, man. It made everybody look at the reign of terror as a good thing. Oh my goodness.
Some people feel like the Reign of Terror elevated more people than it does with Roman.
Well,
Like
yeah, yeah. Because here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Like Roman, like he not there to elevate you. He there to just to, just to show people like, all right, he can hang. You know what I'm saying? But like the people that he was going against already have been elevated. They already there at they spot. Kevin Owens, Brock Lesnar, like all his opponents, it's just
Cena,
about Cena. They already been there. They there already. They like all the people that you probably say that he could have elevated in those feuds with Sami Zayn and Jay Uso. But other than that, like everybody else, like they already got their spot.
there you go. They already got
So
their spots. So
huh. Well,
that's the way you look at it. But yeah, that's how I would say the Tyrant. At least with Triple H, did elevate people though, like from a Batista or Randy Orton or a Chris Benoit or Jericho, several people. We could go on from that. But yeah, overall though, you have anything else you want to plug before we go?
Oh no, man. Just check out my star rated so on Twitter. And follow me on Twitter at straightface40. And that's about it.
All right then, but yeah, this was the part 2 of SummerSlam. So tape B, folks, tape B of this review. But other than that, out of here. See y'all then. Peace out.